Cutting back, you guys now, the lift kind of dropping down. And this is definitely like a mix between fifth element, lower sub, fog bank, and the Blade Runner-esque kind of like structuring. This is definitely the seedier kind of side of Absalom Station. You're seeing just bare kind of like pipes hissing, like holographic displays of semi inviting, but also quite lewd, ladies of various species, indicating good times. But you do eventually find your way to Drift's End bar.
On the lift down, is it just us in the lift?
No, there seems to be quite a few people riding the lift. A lot of them seem to be kind of workers, but eventually you do get out. It is unfortunately kind of a crowded place, but most people seem to be kind of like heads down, kind of walking.
I'm small enough, so I'll just do it anyways. I'm on the lift. I'm going to take Buzz, and I'm going to fit in the, just put it right in the weapon mount that he has. Put my laser pistol in that weapon mount.
Okay.
Just get him loaded up, and I'm going to give him the orders to be like collapsed on my back, but still active and listening and everything.
Yeah.
And then ready for a signal word.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
If I should need it.
Yeah, we'll say that because the way that that works with guns on drones is really you can't, it's kind of built into it. So I guess that's my kind of question. Is like,
the weapon mount mod, you can just fit whatever into there. It's really easy to swap stuff out on the weapon. The weapon mod is built onto him.
We'll say that you just had to spend a little bit of time kind of like removing the handling of it.
Yeah, it's really
it's not like Buzz has a third hand that's like reach for the sky. It's like
no, it's a quick thing. It just like once you fit it, it can just like you said last time, it just like drops down on the bottom. And
right, it kind of like it just kind of like invert kind of puts it in there. So that's fine. So yeah, he's on your back, and it's probably a good idea that he's there because you wouldn't want anybody kind of like like I said, it's pretty tightly packed. You have to kind of like almost be right behind Skada because he's able to kind of like push through the crowds. You're not the only Yosoki here, but you're definitely on the smaller side, and it's hard to kind of navigate the traffic.
With how tall he is, I've gotten used to walking between his legs sometimes.
You're just like always plowing the way. So you guys see the kind of holographic sign of Drift's End. It is essentially at the end of this T intersection. So it's literally, just right at the top of this T intersection, you see two more kind of like paths going, left and right. You guys are essentially like walking down from the elevator to it. And you guys see what appears to be a large Vesk standing at the doorway, and he's essentially just standing there with his arms crossed, large, muscular arms folded in front of him, and scaly skin, and he is a little bit shorter than you, but far more built.
Yeah.
And he's towering over you, obviously.
And he's like, is he like the doorman?
He is kind of like standing off to the side of it, but he definitely sees you guys approach, and he kind of like slides off the wall. And he kind of, what do you want?
We're just gonna go in for a drink. If that's okay.
He kind of looks at you.
Are you salty?
He kind of looks at you, and then he like leans to the side and sees Tet kind of slightly behind you. You know somebody here?
Yeah, I think my friend told me to meet him here.
Bluff check.
You're better than that.
Nice.
Put this person in his place.
26.
26?
Yeah.
That friend is very real and has existed for years.
My mom's in there.
In person, you say it with a little more confidence, because he kind of looks at you. He kind of nods his head, and he kind of goes back to leaning against the side. And it is like that old West style kind of like, half door.
Saloon doors?
And you hear a lot of the noise coming from inside.
I give him a little hat tip as we go by.
He kind of snorts his nostrils. So as you guys walk in, you see a lot of different races in here. every one of them seems to, one, simultaneously look grungy, and two, they all seem to be armed with various weapons, either bladed. Good amount of them don't seem to want to hide it or don't care.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a place to tread lightly.
Definitely our type of place to keep your head on a swivel.
That's what Buzz is for. I'm gonna get sloshed.
I just go up to a bar, hop my way, like pull myself up onto a stool and start knocking on the bar, looking for the bartender.
Okay. You see a kind of you see a Lashunta who is got kind of a scar along the side of his face, and he kind of like is cleaning some drinks, and he's like passing some to other people, and right away he doesn't even register it, and then after a while he kind of like looks at you, and you hear in your mind just like, what'll it be?
Son of Durgan to you. What do you got in the Takatonian?
And he kind of like, you see him kind of like reach over, and you see him pull out Storthroth beer, we'll say. He just kind of snaps the canister open, and he like slides it down to you, and he's like 2 credits.
Just slide him the credit chip.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Because I have exactly 5 credits.
Good thing.
I'm kind of being a little bit shady, kind of looking over my shoulder at the Lashunta that was there, and
You're just right up next to the bar with him.
well, not next to the bar. I'm like behind him.
Okay.
Like he's at the bar, and I'm kind of behind him with my back to him, kind of
Right.
scoping the place out. And I notice the Lashunta. Then I just give him a quick little tap, and then I go to the bathroom, I guess, if there is one. Would you say there's a space bathroom in this space bar for all the space people?
Yeah, there
Okay.
is.
And I'm gonna use my disguise kit because I have one of those.
Okay. One of the stalls is open, we'll say,
Okay.
and so you throw on your disguise kit. Okay, what are you trying to do?
So basically, just kind of, I'm trying to kind of just mask the fact that I'm Lashunta.
Really?
Well, just like facially, like maybe not Lashunta, but not me specifically.
Well, okay, so you're not trying to look like a completely different race. 'Cause,
No.
I mean, that's
No.
pretty.
He's
No.
just maybe trying to soften the Lashunta features
Yeah.
and look like a different,
A different
Yeah.
Lashunta
like
itself.
mixed race or
Yeah.
Lashunta. Yeah.
Just-
Kind of add some things to change the markings on my face and stuff.
Are you just
that
trying to
type
look
of stuff.
just like more at home here, kind of thing, or just what do you, I guess yeah.
I just want to not have my face just look straight up like my face, essentially.
Okay.
So just changing like specific because there's markings on
right
raised
yeah,
markings,
you
like
have
change
kind of
those
raised
up a little
markings.
bit and
Yeah, that's fine.
that
Go
type
ahead
of
and
thing.
roll
A
a
little
disguise
makeup, a little bit of makeup.
check.
Makeup.
I wanted to. You're like Dana Carvey, master of disguise. Pistachio disguise.
It is 16.
16? Yeah, it's pretty good. You definitely don't look like yourself. Obviously on like closer inspection, somebody might notice that something's off.
So
but,
well hastily done.
Yeah, kind of not wanting to spend too much time in here, and like wondering if somebody might show up.
It's a bar, so I assume the lights are kind of low
Right,
and shit.
and with that, I think it actually gives you like a +4 to that. So what's your total again on that?
16,
Okay.
so 20.
Oh, actually, never mind. It doesn't give you a bonus on it, but it just allows you to change your appearance more effectively. So yeah, you do not look like yourself. You're obviously still Lashunta, but you keep your same like you just like changed kind of the look on your face.
With a little coloring and a little different. Add
I mean,
marks and shit.
people were giving you looks, but obviously nobody was like staring at you
Right.
that you could see.
Right.
But
I've got my hat on, so
You
it's
definitely
not
don't look like yourself.
Yeah.
So
Then I'll head back to
As
the bar by him and then saddle up and give him the same little tap.
yeah, as he's doing that.
yeah, I'm just and like the entire time I'm acting like I don't know him at all, like facing away, and I'm just looking at the person next to me that's not in his direction, and I'm just starting to tell them like I just take a big like kind of like, with exaggerated motion, sort of start foaming up and going everywhere. I just like slam it down on the counter and start telling him about my days and like when I was flying and stuff, and just like regale him with war stories and stuff.
It's a human. He's got like a cybernetic arm that doesn't seem very kind of like quality. It seems kind of subpar. But he's had the one up, and he kind of like after like he gets back, the guys at this point been kind of like he moves his arm to kind of like be in your direction. So he's definitely not wanting to hear anything. So he's not replying.
Is there any way I can like take a closer look at his arm while I'm talking to him?
Yeah, I mean he's not trying to hide it. He's just got his arm
Like closely inspect it to see what this thing's all about and how it works.
Yeah, I mean, let's have you do like a perception check.
Okay.
Engineering.
Okay.
If you're trying to see specifically how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Engineering.
27.
27. Not being very, with cybernetics yourself, I believe, if I remember right. It's a prosthetic limb. It's nothing to write home about. But you get the kind of gist of how it works.
Is there any way that I can? Are there any systems on it that I can access? Any way that I can?
Nothing that you can see. Like best guess, probably the things that he uses to like if there's any panels or controls to it, it's underneath his clothing because he's wearing kind of like what appears to be like a cut-off sleeve of what appears to be like a duster. So it's like the cut-off is like at his elbow. You don't see anything besides the mechadendrites and things like that are.
Well, with his arm up, can I just like maybe somehow just see if I can like access it? Remotely, like hack into it or something? Or?
I mean, that's like so there's a lot of people around you. So I mean, you can certainly do that. Somebody might very likely notice you doing things.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Fair enough.
Do you want to do it or no?
No.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Not trying to squash the fun. I'm just
No,
saying.
I totally understand, and I
Just steal his wrist.
was gonna see what I could do.
Batman's eye.
I was gonna maybe just put a tiny little bug in there so that like down the road he would just have odd twitches or something. Leave him with a lasting mark that he met me, and that's it. But
Power move.
yeah, exactly.
Power move. All right. So
Whenever he tries to sign his own signature, it signs my name instead.
you feel a slight tap from the other side. It's a Lashunta. It doesn't look like Skada at a glance. You kind of are used to not seeing him, but you got the tap from before, and it's
Sick
him.
tap. Sort of almost special tap.
No, I'm used to him just like we arrive somewhere together and then he just disappears.
You guys arrive at the same time.
Simultaneously coming at the same time.
Jesus. So
Okay.
what are you doing?
Yes.
Let's go.
I wave my two fingers at the bartender guy, kind of my head kind of low, but like this. Just be like, hey, can I get a whatever like ale you have?
Do you say that to him?
Yeah.
Okay, like verbally.
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of looks at you strangely because.
Is that a thing where we talk telepathically usually?
Well, that's the thing. Is like Lashunta as a race find verbal communication, like somatic communication, really kind of like unnecessary. It's just kind of one of those things. It's just
man.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's like asking a genuine man in France for French fries.
It's not something that's like, holy shit, this guy's up to something fucking squirrely.
No.
It's more just like he's kind of surprised because as a race, Lashuntas just find it exacerbating that other races need like
Language.
audible language communication.
Right, especially considering we're in like a bar and shit too.
Right,
Why
so
wouldn't
he
I just fucking
like
beam
he
a
like
fucking
looks at
message
you and
into
he's
his
like,
head?
it's like he's not sure he's like matching it up to you, so he like moves over and he's like, you hear in your mind, what?
Oh, I've been around these people too long. Sorry, like telepathically.
Right.
I'm like, I've been around these people too long. Sorry.
Yeah, you and me both. Totally be.
I'll just have whatever ale you have handy.
Okay. He kind of like reaches back, and you see him pull out a similar thing to you, and 2 credits for you.
Alrighty. Addition 2. Then how many credits do I have? And then I'll just be like, so How long you been away from the homeworld?
Far too long, my friend. Far too long, but can't say that I miss it sometimes.
What brought you out here?
Oh, work, this and that.
Yeah. I mean, things were kind of getting pretty hectic out there.
Yeah, you're telling me.
You never know whose side people were on.
And I'm gonna just like, I see him kind of having that eye lock of telepathy that I know is going on, and I'm gonna just bang on the counter and say,
Give me another one of those, please.
He kind of looks at you. Just kind of like gives you like a look of slight disdain. And he kind of looks at you, and he's just like, and he like reaches back, grabs another one. 2 credits.
Hey, sir.
and I throw him one extra just.
Because you don't have anything else.
Well, yeah, but also kind of just like,
I know.
kind of a little slight fuck you a little bit, even though I'm giving him money.
Okay,
Roll ball too.
catches.
Get yourself
catches the
something
credits.
pretty.
Yeah, like keep the change, you filthy animal.
He's just like he kind of like affected. He just like rolls his eyes and he's like, ah. And you hear it, and he like communicates to you. And he's like, I hate you, Saki. So
When he get it from him, I just take a big gulp first of all, and then turn around on the stool and start like making my way through the bar, talking to whoever will give me an ear.
Okay.
Do our communicators send like text?
Yeah, you can send text messages or like verbal communication. It's,
Okay.
I mean, it is essentially a full function communication.
I
device.
send Tet a quick text with like a little image of me, like taking a picture of myself, but I'm like,
Little selfie, dude.
my eyes are closed, and it says, "Update: found some interesting news at the Starfinder Society."
So you're like drunkenly kind of stumbling, and I mean, it's you're feeling it a little bit. You're not exactly a very large guy,
No.
but you can see that familiar face of Ziddix. Well, I guess I don't know how familiar he is.
Well,
to
now
you, but
it's recognizable, but
you recognize where the communications.
I wasn't ready
It's
for
like-
the picture.
it's like I went to a weekend camp and met somebody and kind of hit it off with them, and then like a week later I get a random text message. It's like, oh, okay, hey. But I just give him the old like red at blank time, but I never respond.
I think you saw it, and I say that to Soren while we're walking.
There you lie.
I think it's hot.
I think you saw it.
So the bartender kind of like goes back to kind of doing like bar duties. You see him like stock and shit. And you know he's not even looking at you at this
Yeah.
point, but you still hear. So what brings you to Drift's End?
Just been out in the stars and trying to find a way to make a living, I guess. What brought you here from home?
I'm not a fan of the politics at home. A man likes to keep himself free and clear of all that garbage. I'm not someone of that sort.
You had to starting to get a bit one-sided there for a while.
Born with the right last name, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah. You heard any news about back home, or?
Man, as soon as I left orbit, that was in the rearview mirror and never looked back.
Unplugged. It's kind of like me too.
And I'm across the bar at this point, standing in front of a full booth that's like set into the wall kind of, and I'm shorter than the table at the booth, but I'm talking to everybody in there, and I'm just really loudly like,
Look, it's not that hard.
and I just take like this wad of frayed wires and little bits of scrap out of my cheek, and I just start like messing with it and showing them like,
Look, it's really not that hard. Look, all it takes just a little bit of copper, and you get a little bit of spark going through it. And
like
And in the booth is Kasathas and Vesk, and they're just like trying to ignore you. And then the Vesk, after a while, he just like slams his drink and he's like, "Listen,
God damn it!
I do not come here for conversation with small folks such as yourself. Leave me be." Kind of like just keep staring at you. It's pretty intimidating considering the fact, but
all right, well, the next time you need a good timer on your bomb, don't come looking for me.
Just turn around and fart and walk away.
yeah, I just I just turn like 180. Whoever's behind me, like
You need a good timer for something?
It's a human, and he like heard you, and he's just like,
Look, it's really not that hard how to set it. Look, I'll tell you right now. It's got nanoseconds, everything.
So, I guess, better question, cutting back to you. He kind of like stands up, and he looks at you, and he kind of eyes you over.
Sweet hat.
What sort of line of work are you in?
It's just it. After leaving home, I've just kind of been floating around doing small odd jobs here and there on various ships, and just trying to see where it all takes me, you know?
Yeah, I understand that. You looking at for any work at the moment?
Well, I mean, if you know of any, I'd definitely consider it.
I might know a man that's looking for some people to run a job. Depends how flexible you find the laws.
As flexible as a little fucking fandangle off of Bengals Hangle.
that was you. So far, you've been so smooth, and right now, you're just a goddamn sea urchin.
My problem was I was trying to think of something to say.
Diplomacy check.
As soon as I think of something, it just doesn't.
He kind of looks at you strange, and he's like, he obviously is not as interested in you as like, you know, that might warrant. He's just like, listen, you seem like a guy that could get things done. Probably not of the verbal variety, or you know, whatever.
I've just been around these people too long, man.
Okay, that's fine.
My speechifying is quite good.
Listen, just stop while you're ahead. I got a job. What I want you to do is you're gonna have to go down to this other place.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like on his own communicator gives you an indicator. It's somewhere along in the spike, closer to more of the industrial sections than, you know, like kind of the rundown commercial area that you're at right now.
Okay.
I need you to, when you get there, ask for Sobak Faresh Mathel Amandi.
Sobak
Foresh Mathel Amandi. And ask him.
Man fell on my knee.
Yeah.
And you ask him how things have been going lately in the wild. He'll know what to do. And he kind of leans in, and he's like, "And a word of advice: don't get his name wrong. He doesn't like it when people get too buddy. At least, you know, on first contact, that is."
I definitely will take that to heart. That's Sobak Faresh Mathel Amandi.
You got it.
All right. Committed to memory. Got it. No worries.
All right. Get out of here.
All right. Should I come back here after, or?
He'll tell you what to do. Take
Sounds
it
good.
from there. And he's expecting somebody within the next day, but I wouldn't wait much longer on that.
All right.
Gotta strike while it's hot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All right. Get out of my face.
Thank you for the drink. I'll flick him a fucking
well,
credit for funsies.
Shilling.
He kind of like catches it. He like looks at you, and he puts it away. And by this time, you have basically a 1.5-foot barrier of space around you, where nobody, like, it's as packed as can be in the Drift's End. Yet people have somehow found enough room to move far enough away from you to not talk to you.
and by
It
now,
seems like a lot of people just kind of minding their own business.
by now it's gone from like a timer to something completely different. I'm like,
And then you just switch it to a logic circuit, and you're completely done. Look at this, people. Come on. Am I the only one paying attention?
You really are. at this point. Everybody else is actively trying to avoid you.
Bunch of heathens.
And I just like storm out, just like huffing, finish my drink, and throw it at the nearest receptacle.
You notice the storming familiarity of that Yosoki walk, so you, I'm guessing, follow him out. You.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I saw him start to get up, so I'm just like,
We're
So you guys are back out on the sidewalk.
old good cop, drunk cop routine.
Right. yeah. Drunk Yosoki disguised Lashunta. You know, same
Yeah.
thing. You know.
Oh yeah.
So I got some potential leads on some info we're looking for.
Well, I mean, I'm good for it. If you picked up on it, I trust you.
Gave me a job. Go meet some guy. I mean, if you tag along, you're gonna have to make yourself scarce.
Yeah, you want me in on this, or you want to play this the old espionage way?
I mean, I'll go in alone, but
I can provide support,
yeah.
as always.
Yep, good idea. Should we head there now, or do you want to get back in contact with their dudes?
Well, they got a small update.
Yeah.
Seems like more long-term stuff than our short-term matters. So you want them in on this with me, on
Sure.
the B team?
Let's do it.
Well, I'll bring them over.
And I just get both of these guys, call them up simultaneously, just see who picks up first.
All right.
Hello.
You hear
like-
this kind of like
I have
muffled, like
I have a
hello?
custom thing that I've built that is like really sophisticated compared to what you guys have. So I've got like all kinds of shit.
I just got that basic ass bitch hollow display.
So you see
I can't even work my camera.
you see
Your
Soren.
eyes closed.
You
Oh,
see
Snapchat.
Soren kind of like, hello. You kind of like, he's like hello, and then you see it like whip it up to his like face, and you see him there, and then
He's too close to the camera. Like,
you see like poking over the top, like literally like above is like the top part of Ziddix's head.
moving around like a bug. Like,
We got a job.
ooh, what kind of job?
Job that pays money. What other kind of job is there?
Sounds like a good job.
Yeah, it is. So come meet us. Help us do the job.
All right, where are you guys at? Where are you guys heading?
We're in the Spike. Come to the industrial section.
Industrial section. We'll meet you there. Where at in the industrial section?
He kind of gives you like the coordinates.
Yeah,
of, like,
you'll be
where
able to
meet.
you'll be able to
Tom,
ping us
Tom.
when we get
We'll
down there.
beep you the skeet.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. That.
We'll beep you the deets.
Keep the deeds.